Good afternoon. I'm Abigail Mankey, and you are listening to Interviews, the show about everyday people with extraordinary stories. We are on the web at interviewslive.com and on Facebook. My guest today is Elsie Love. Elsie is a diverse musical performer known for her dance music, blues, and gospel. While you may have seen her perform around Austin at such places as Stubbs Barbecue, Threadgill's, and Maria's Taco Express, what you may not know is that Elsie was born a man. Her latest album is called Mysterious. Some of the songs on it, such as This Is My Life, address being transsexual. She's performing this Saturday at the Saxon Pub. Elsie, welcome to Interviews.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Also, one of the musicians who plays with you, Adam Raven, is here. He may or may not come on the air, but he's here. So hello, Adam, as well.
Hello. Yeah. He's been with me for 9 years now.
That's amazing. What do you play, Adam?
I play guitar and sing and co-wrote one of the songs on the album.
Ah, okay. Elsie, you are quite an accomplished performer. So here we go. You've sung with Luther Vandross, Parliament Funkadelic, Joan Armatrading. You've had number 2 and number 3 hits on the European dance charts. You sang the national anthem at a San Antonio Spurs basketball game. And you sang at Hillary Clinton's senatorial nomination dinner. How did you get the Hillary Clinton gig?
Well, I was a featured singer at Glide Memorial Church, which is an amazing church in San Francisco. It's a church that accepts all people and all denominations, and I was one of the featured lead singers in the choir. And Nancy, what's her name? Nancy
Pelosi?
Pelosi, yes. I always have a hard time saying her name. She was at the service, and later that evening, they were going to have Hillary's, her fundraising dinner. So I was asked if I would come and be special guest and sing Amazing Grace.
That's wonderful. Did the Spurs or the NBA or whoever asked you to sing the national anthem, did they know that you're transsexual? I'm sort of curious to know if they did, how they would have reacted.
They did not know. And I felt that the gentleman who go out and find the scouts, or he's part of the NBA, that heard me sing at the Saxon Pub, he was very impressed with my voice and was impressed with me as a person. We talked and had a great conversation after. And I felt that it was my talent that was important. My gender, or, who I was under my clothes, wasn't that big of a deal. And I felt that I just should go on and give myself a shot and do it. I was a little nervous before because I didn't know if someone was going to be able to detect if I was transgender. All those stars, it was right during the playoff games. I mean, that was when they won, that year. So it was a very exciting time. I had one bit of nervousness of saying, okay, if someone can detect if I'm transgender, will that prevent me from doing what I'm about to do? But my other gear kicked in, that I was raised and trained by great people such as my mom to hold my head up and be myself, and I don't have to walk around with a sign pinned on myself to say who I am.
Elsie, you were born Arnold Elsie. Your last name is how you got your first name. Is that you paying homage to your roots?
Well, it's weird how that happened. I used to forget to put my name on my paper when I was a kid in kindergarten, and my teacher would return my papers back to me as Elsie Arnold. So I made that my legal name, and that's when I was trying to figure out what to do. I was performing as Elsie Love with just the 2 initials. So when I was finally moving into my truth of being who I am and living full time, I didn't want to be Tanisha Kawatha or anybody. I decided to just be me and use Elsie.
How old were you when you realized you were different, and in what way did you feel different?
Well, I felt different because society was trying to place me in a place where I didn't feel comfortable.
How old were you?
I was about maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
And so describe that. So where was society trying to place you, your perception of that, and how did you feel different?
Well, I felt different because the clothes that I was, thank God that my mother allowed me to be flamboyant, and she was such a free spirit. But the clothes I had to wear, the toys I had to play with, how I would act, things that I would comment on, or things that I was really knowledgeable on being so young, in that sort of zone of connecting with female energy. And then when I would expose that, I would, sometimes be criticized for it.
What's an example of that?
Oh, you look like a girl, you act like a girl, or, or you acting like a faggot, or you acting like a punk, or any of those things,
There's a photo of you at age 8 wearing a pink jumpsuit. How did that go over among kids at school? You have a bunch of sisters.
Yeah, that was me, I think at 15 or 16, wearing that. I was always flamboyant and all the time, and I was always sneaking, doing things to bring that out. I mean, when I could wear blush on my cheeks or lip gloss or whatever, which, earlier on, there's a picture of me when I was 8. I loved my lips shiny. I would use my hair grease that I use on my hair, to polish my lips, because I couldn't go out and buy lip gloss. So, I used what I had.
Given that you perceive society was trying to put you into a different box than what felt comfortable to you, did you try to rein yourself in? Did you try to fit in?
Oh, I did. There were girlfriends that still liked me, and people liked me because I would win all the dance contests, so they didn't, I didn't get punched or beat too much because they loved the way I danced. I would outdance everybody.
But you did get beaten up some of the time for being faggoty, as people would say?
People would try it, but I don't take no mess, And even
you were a tough kid.
Well, I'd let people know, if they hurt me, I would say something back to them, and that would probably end up with a fight or something. But sometimes, I was bullied, but my mother was such a strong woman. I took a lot of my strength from her. And that's even being, bold and real, and, and people either love you for being that way or they would rather you to be phony. And I'm just not raised to be that way.
That's great. Elsie, some of the songs on your album, Mysterious, are about being transsexual. We're going to hear This Is My Life, which is the first track on the album. So tell us real briefly about it.
Yeah, I've been connecting with a lot of people, and definitely a lot of people here in Austin that, struggles with who they are because of this whole image of how you're supposed to be. Not everyone is from the South. Not everyone is religious. Not everyone is straight. Not everyone has money. Not everyone wants to be like the other person. Some people just want to dress weird or do something weird and not be labeled as being gay, straight, transgender, bisexual, trisexual, whatever. And I wrote this song on the fringe of just people needing to express themselves, and it gave me the freedom to have no apologies for being who I am, and I hope others can feel that way about themselves in spite of who they are or what you like that might be different from what other people might like.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a listen.